must be made of divinely woven golden thread, like a shroud atop the bodies of the symbolically slain, sacrificial dead. 'Cause you guard them as if what lay within was the promised land. Like once inside the lines, one would be delivered from need unto a generous extended hand. But when you live within the lines of such distinguishment, you see the smiling rich folks on TV and the people sleeping on the cold pavement. You see the red carpets of the former pass right by the makeshift beds of the latter, and the camera angles, they never seem to show anything that might cause that happy illusion to shatter. But hasn't the farce been unveiled? This land's a rich man's soul for sale, and he's taking the currency of our wage slave existence. Yeah, he believes in a heaven, he believes he can get in at his checkbook's insistence. See, his God's just a fat cat too, and bribery's a sacrament when profit is your religion. Their borders must seem like dollar signs, the vertical lines of which point inward, or some inconsequential wimp subdued so easily by your boot camp brainwashed brutes. 'Cause you're storming in, you're just vanquishing any salvageable notion of self-rule. Who needs sovereignty when you can force feed a serum of complicity? Sure tastes like strychnine, but the label reads democracy. What do these words even mean? In the smirking mouth of the president, if he assured you that poison was medicine and one defeated to you, would you believe him then too? Come on, the war's not for peace, it's just a not so new double speak. And if they've broken your spirit, get it back in the streets and celebratory mutiny. We gotta revel in this resistance. It's the only way to stay true to a freedom that was never red, white or blue, was never voted into existence. The Constitution didn't make it legitimate, 'cause it lives inside of you. Changing colors and crackling beneath my feet, and how I've been waiting to see which fate will finally create and greed. And the wind is shifting, big fluffy white entities this way and that, and at your best your sunbeam, and we're striking each other brilliant, precise, exact. And if they try and keep us here, if they tell us to just be good and sit, We gotta go find what's left of the forest and run into it. And the moon is phasing, squishing, inflating this blue ball in space. And my dreams are ranging from dancing on top of cars to a pumpkin patch chase. And yeah, we're dancing on the edges of our laughter, on the curves of the night. And at your best, you're a star shining, just selflessly distributing your supplies of light. And if they keep us here, they tell us to just be good and sit. We gotta go find what's left of the forest and run into it, into it, into it, into it. And how you are changing at times, seems like you're crackling beneath my feet. And how I am waiting for the restoration of the you I once did meet. And the winds have shifted my intentions till they become something they once were not. Now you are a looming mountain in the background, in the forest of my thoughts. And if I ever keep you here, if I ever tell you to just be good and sit, find what's left of the forest and run into it, into it, into it, oh, 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 run into beyond his office, fax and phone, beyond his big life built on your time and sweat, which he thinks he owns. But no, 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 could have sworn we told you no. So long, long ago, how many riots incited before you are shown that we don't condone this arrangement? How many lives left in ruins before we all change it and step up for humanity? Still reluctantly trudging through in indentured slavery. Indentured via time clock. We show up for work and then we take our wills off. Just do what we're told. We're grateful for any small chunk of the American gold. Well, I say, leave the gold in the ground. Don't move the factories overseas, but you can still shut them down. We'll turn them all into free houses, free schools. We'll switch paying bills with the tools that we use to run it all ourselves. That for naive? And how am I for an idealist? Critique me, but that's what they want you to think. That if you accept their world, you're just a realist. Women giving in, still working the same to make less than their husband, father, boyfriend. And some are quoting the suffragettes to say, you know, women died so men could represent us. So vote, vote, vote. Come on, girls, we fight for the vote. Vote for your good men who keep this Titanic patriarchy afloat. Or vote for a woman who might stand a chance if she plays along and she's got enough class. Yeah, they might let her in. She'll be their token, be their underling. 'Cause you have the right to choose your master for substitution for revolution. But elections happen faster. I'm fucking over it. I'm done condoning it. 'Cause I don't want representation. I want to hear every last voice of dissension. Yeah, I want to know where you stand, not who I'm supposed to write to. If you make me mad, and if you agree, well, come and build it with me. And if not, well, farewell, whatever, take care. Hey, I'm sure that I'll see. Me, but you know that's just what they want you to think. That if you accept their world, you're just a realist. As if underwater, it's slow and soft and raw. It's in pink and yellow pale light. But there's no golden splendor, and there's no sparkle or shine. There's just this matted projection of this lusterless mind. But when I'm gliding amid the soft obstructions, I collide, I seeding fruit. I'm sailing past my unconscious self, that handkerchief waving, faceless mute. And all is as if stripped of its shell. It's fleshy and squirming and shrinking to each touch. But there's no sunless shelter, and there's no green leafy cover. There's just this slow, wet baking, this pavement staining thoroughly sun-exposed plate. But when I'm gliding amid the soft obstructions, I collide, I enveloped, I am seed in fruit. I'm sailing past my unconscious self, that handkerchief waving, faceless mute. What of gliding? What of colliding? Oh, what of sailing and waving? Meaning is evident only while taking note of the lack thereof. Suffer while I contemplate, I'll dream you up some futile love. Steaming heaps of nonsense lie where moral agents tread. When wanting, yes, you don't resist. It's the hedonist, it's a subtle thread. It's unseen but strong. It's just like this song that's unwittingly and cryptically sung unto me. By shuffling feet and quiet speech, appear into an almost empty room and somehow detect grief. emptiness, your irrelevant sentiment, 'cause I alone detect your sorrow. You can ball into my open wounds, or just remain to haunt me tomorrow. Describe in song your boredom, I will sing back of its kin of the ambient futility that lingers on moment. Such futility did indeed succeed in revealing to me that I and we are completely free, free to breathe each breath as if death were the thread to the next. The meaning I can muster from the complete lack thereof. The nothingness I suffer fills me past my brim with love. I evade the steaming heaps of nonsense. I am nimble as the dead. I am yanked by mere wanting and I resist. I break the thread and thereby detach from where it led. Was I not ever stitched? A mercy was with wanting not her unwanted child. When I run amok in seamlessness, the threads break every time I smile. I linger in this doorway and she tells me to come in, to be still in her solemnity. I laugh hysterically instead. She's unseen, but strong. She's just like this song that's unwittingly and cryptically sung unto me. A void for face, an abyss for heart. Been sleeping for years just beneath the most alarming surface. Got a farce for name, deceit for tongue. Waking from tremors of latent purpose, stretching, yawning, mumbling, breathy reasons for why we've been sleeping so long. Tapping my comrades, I suppose we should go now. Come to and come along. Hungry void for a culture, resist that abysmal pull for hope. Against young fervor distilled, extracted, our veins filled with their increasingly neutralized flood, they got a farce they call leader, a bunch of deceit they call currency. As their sedated dream deepens their world and their cells, they rot from within, awake and running now ahead of the others towards a road and a fork and a choice we all must make. Awake, so I wait for them, but they pass me. They're all smiling, they're all hypnotized by the idea of a righteous fate. If awake, why conflicted? Why this tug of war will? Why the decision to run for which we got nothing to show except the internal currents that move the muscles to running? Yeah, we follow them, but are we ever sure what we know? A diplomat for a face, a nuke for a heart. Hey ambassador, aren't you sleeping through ecstasy's gift of the new? It's a reflex of a rebellion. It's a disheartened love that makes me hate the state. Comrade, are we now only awake in the dream of the vehement few, stretching, yawning, mumbling, breathy reasons for why we've been sleeping so long? Attention, all mounds of slumber, it is time to go now, so animate yourselves and come along. Impressive rain, the sky positively bellows, and what a lonely refrain, and played on such thunderous cellos. Catastrophic is this restlessness, and what a landslide disillusionment is, and what a swift tide of distraction makes such haste to clear that steep slope's base. But what a loss, that lofty view seemed to say life's not a waste. Hunger and disdain, it's seeping through my every fiber today. It's this thick and sludgy solitude. It's like the dankest mud, and I'm just drenched and stained. I was so disturbed by that groping fall down my mind's terrain, that I drown in shallow diversion just to wash it away.
Little songs sprouting in my stomach and blooming out of my bleeding mouth. I was sleeping in the backs of buses, soaking wet from the sudden waves that paralyzing love, and I was lucid in the mob. I went lucid in a mob. I was shaking and shaking, beseeching and shaking. I was just shaking, I was just shaking. I remember a building in the gardens around the island. The walls were falling. There is in my every direction to the rising of sensation. The rising of sensation. The rising of sensation. The rising of sensation.
Thanks, strength of self-recognition.
Impressive rain. The sky positively bellows. And what a lonely refrain. And played on such thunderous cellos. And played on such thunderous cellos. All is in flux, as in heat, death, aw shucks, as in mass extinction, the agents of which care not for us or our chronological distinctions, but nonetheless I am Cenzoic, and time is a glacier sliding over me, yielding relic topography. I may be far from blessed and farther from heroic, but nonetheless I'm Gaia's ravenous fatling. Yeah, all is in flux, and we're the planet's many-headed, ever-invented dunce. Oh, the ingenuity of catapulting fire at each other. Oh, brilliant hostile spectacle may the children gape at each flash. Oh, you grinning beast, yeah, brandish that hubris aboard your ever-revving cliff-bound engines of toxic flatulence. Nonetheless, we're Cenzoic, and time is this glacier sliding over you and me, and we are the relic topography. I may be far from blessed and farther from heroic, but nonetheless we're Gaia's ravenous fatlings. Fatlings. When I miss you all, it's deeply. It's not so much for myself. Although I will say I feel the loss. No, it's more for that pale blue notion of each of you in your own lonely universe. Yeah, I'm kindred, and I know in detail the nature of what you bear, just as I know exactly how you conversely swell in delirious cheer. Isn't that warmth abundant? Doesn't all of that burning and blushing love, doesn't it make it just that much more pale when the color melts from the cheeks of it all? Won't these pains of regret have mercy? I am but a child, and all my faults that haunt me, they come from a place in me where I am still sincerely wild. Yeah, we're kindred, so I describe myself too, and I know you're out there swooning when I'm moonstruck and love-struck and faint for it all, and I'm suddenly blooming, just like I know you are tugged by the same tangled puppeteer's will. So awkward and clumsy, conflicted and wondering why we're all here, but I should tell you, I've begun to suspect that there's nothing to feel regret for. All that sadness that pulls us out under the sky completes an essential tension in who we are. Won't these wings of regret have mercy? I am but a child, and all my faults that haunt me, they come from a place in me where I am still sincerely wild, and I miss you all. I miss you all so deeply. It's not for myself, although I do feel the loss. No, it's more for that pale blue notion of each of you The malleable stuff of our speech is a conforming blood nestled in ravenous teeth, and there's a curtain of language. As behind it we must reach into a miasma of waves that saturate the air, that transmit the decay. And it was in reception laid on tectonic plates that a sore vigilante did in the awake. Sat up in the dark screaming for something sacred. Say, won't you lie on your land and move her to Quake? Stuff of our sphere, the changing arrangement of all we deem real. There's a curtain of color, let's grope through it and feel. That soft warm glow of being, a melting of falsehoods that we build just by seeing. But a panicked mob running makes rhythms that sing, beseeching beneath where they place treading feet, like an ultrasound's murmuring baby's heartbeat. When the terrestrial witness becomes still, is that we exist like a wind she can't feel, and she's just drenched with our waves by each gust of our breeze. And it blows with the rhythms of brain waves in sync with the waves of denial, of trust being breached. These things we call words, oozing wet, awkward speech. Lie on your land and breathe hard to beseech that the curves of this woman will turn, that she'll stir in her slumber, that will feel a soft squirm, jostled into something we can rebuild, more pure in the catastrophe of rebirth, in a revolution of earth. Such light-flooded beauty, such broad frigid darkness. But if at that threshold can't we find bland, calm, and such. Small, humble, quiet, and such. Splendorous crescendos, but if at the threshold don't we leak half-spoken songs, or will the world always beckon from one defined sight? And must I always lie in the darkness to wait for the light? The light of day, or of glad heart and mind, or just any kind merciful beacon, like waking from time past so easily by sleeping. This wakeful mind can project its own beam. It's a sorry spotlight on that ticking time stream. Those wrists and walls full of clocks, always reminding me to count moments and deeds like a coin currency. And I'm so broke, I'm so spent, yet wakeful, embarrassed to be bored. Or can't I somersault inwards towards pastures of gold, of gold. We've got these two earths for irises and a conscious light that shines through, projecting the world onto nothingness. Retreat from the dark world into that light. Such a vast, such a patiently obvious timelessness. But aren't my eyes aging with each menacing tick? And more so without sleep, these bloodshot webs were woven so thick. And this world is dying, and for it I'm lovesick. But then I must have dozed off, 'cause I woke to write this.
Song called Onlooking. Playing it a lot lately. I'll let it speak for itself. Just thinking about all this saga of destruction going on and all the different reactions to it and how different those reactions can be. 3 bold colors ride the wind, and they cry out to their newfound kin to rain down their wrath and quench that thirsty sea. And 2 orange explosions against the blue sky are thus replicated millions of times and rain down on a landscape of sorrow sorrow-stricken, spellbound eyes, and one soft cry from the desert's oily womb, drowned out by a sonic boom. Oh, may she rain down her sorrow like those bombs rain down her doom. Your flag is burned and your lessons learned. All those hateful conventions have been deeply discerned, and I'm in that multitude of young minds onlooking. When that flag is flown, that lesson's ignored by a multitude of eyes, desensitized and bored from too many years of onlooking. They've got power on paper and hostages and citizens at the point of a gun or at the point of a pen. Well, since when? And for how long will we let the ink of the few dictate the fate of so many men and women? Well, do more than begin to wonder. We're spilling out into the streets over each dumb blunder. They may seem quiet, but they're so immense, and those bombs won't always be safely distant thunder. Well, there's one huge reason why we all want peace, but it's so profound that of it I can hardly speak. And for it I don't intend to speak. Flag is burned, the lessons learned. Those hateful conventions have been deeply discerned, and I'm in that multitude of young minds onlooking. And when that flag is flown, the lessons ignored by a multitude of eyes, desensitized and bored from too many years of onlooking. Cry out to their newfound kin. They say, rain down, come on, rain down your wrath and quench that thirsty sin. And two orange explosions against the blue sky are thus replicated millions of times and rain down on a landscape of sorrow-stricken, spellbound eyes. And one soft cry from the desert's oily womb, drowned out by a sonic boom. Oh, may she rain down her sorrow like those bombs rain down her doom. I believe Ryan Harvey is going to be up next. Guess they ran out of tape on your last song, so they gotta rock it. Implicit in these lives, plenty is a hurting, a venting world of content. And implicit in those tongues of opinion is the sugary craving that drools its consent. Such a fertile continent, such an orchard of ferment, the intoxicating scent of rotting, fruity flesh, this garden yielding everything except anyone's contentment. If you can grow fat on the sick harvest of this culture, you'll probably thin out on the subsequent depression that ensues, until all of that which you come to know is malignant. It just becomes some contention that you must prove. And there exists so much eloquence squandered on stating the obvious. That we invest in protest of this absurd mess. It's ever outward flowing, but inward less. And implicit is the ambient decay, the prancing malice of each first world day. Implicit is the collective shame and the looks away from the TV frame of that charade on screen. The standing, clapping swine, the leaders I've been told are mine. My disbelief, their utter pride. In teleprompted words, the world declines to even try to legitimize the reign of such flagrantly fallacious mind. Eloquence squandered on stating the obvious, and all the breath that we invest in protest of this absurd mess. It's ever outward flowing, but inward less and less. Implicit in every movement we render, that it's the aching, the tender flecks of dissent. And implicit in our every action, that all this anger, it's compassion, we're just wrung dry of patience, and this time is so urgent. And I for one must confess that I never was content. No, I never was content. Truth that you elude, and yet your name has attained fame of magnitude. And my claims to know you can never be proven, for you only seem to visit paired with solitude. And it seems you exist just in some surreal abyss. We speak of you with passion, we apply you like fists. Vague, relative, ambiguous, your nature is this. And I am confused carbon, engaged in a seemingly circular pursuit. And my endeavors long ago ceased to bear fruit. And yeah, it was slightly frightening when I first became aware of the aerial view, but I will chase my tail because that's just what the living do. Just spare me your version of what it means to succeed. Admit it's beyond you, just like it's beyond me. In truth, your absence is sufficient to keep you infamous. Be with our passion, we quote you and claim that we know you well enough that all our shields should bear your name. Yeah, truth, you evade me, and yet I still expect that your noble name will save me from endeavors made in vain. Endeavors made in your name. Truth, save me from such shame. And we are restless, yes, those that make up me. And we are all suspended in our allotted spot in the fucked up hierarchy of me. And this black-eyed tyrant is now calling herself queen. And she is always secretly praying to unidentified entities, and she asks them to spare me from the obligation to succeed. It's beyond me. Just spare me from your version of what it means to succeed. Admit it's beyond you, just like it's beyond me. And the snails come out and they paint the ground with trails of water. And these two unknown goddesses, they count their coins. They're saving up for a bottle. And their weary eyes are scanning their weary walls for traces of something more than the indifference that resides behind their faces. All that pain that lives behind closed doors. The television's got her thinking about inches and how much she weighs. And in the night she gets these visits from emaciated
sleepless and dismay. And beauty has become a finger down your throat. Well, is that reflection in the toilet water all that you had hoped? And how long must I watch you wither she saw death coming for her like a hunter from a mile away. But when I looked at her, her eyes always seemed to say, hey, I'm anything but prey. I'm gonna be okay. But when the rain falls, I guess those snails come out and they put themselves in harm's way. And in the garden, when I found crushed remains, I thought I'd never again have anything to say. Except everything's not always gonna be alright, even when your smile defines sunshine. Did you really